Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. Well, I've just come back from Iron Napper, so I'm not looking in great condition, but we've got something really big to talk about, fellow Doctor Who fans. The Daleks will be in the New Year's Day episode. Apparently the New Year's Day episode has a title, but I can't remember it, and it doesn't matter. Right, what I can tell you is there was an article in the Mirror revealing this about the Daleks being in the New Year's Day episode. I can 100% confirm that this is absolutely true. The BBC are getting very desperate now. It's why you saw the scarf. It's why you keep on seeing the promos of the Doctor, of the 13th Doctor, wearing the scarf. They have not been happy with Chris Chibnall, the BBC. They have not been happy how un-Doctor Who season 11 has been. And this is why you're hearing a lot of reports about Chibnall not being happy, is because the BBC said you need to do an episode on New Year's Day where we've got the Daleks, where it's a Doctor Who episode. He wasn't happy about this, but he will do it. And I think this is why you're hearing rumours about maybe him quitting after season 12. But the way I hear it, he may even quit at the end of this season. We really don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, the BBC are just as frustrated as a lot of we are, basically. So the season 11 defenders are taking a big L right now. They're having to sit back down because everything we've been saying is coming to pass. Because believe me, if the BBC saw season 11 as a masterpiece, right, they wouldn't have interfered. You wouldn't be seeing the Daleks in the New Year's Day episode, and you wouldn't be seeing the 13th Doctor wearing a scarf. So basically that proves that we've been right all along, and it's great for Doctor Who fans because when Chibnall announced there'll be no classic monsters, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that you take something away that means so much, that is synonymous with Doctor Who. Now, some people complain because we always get the Daleks, but the Daleks are not the only classic monsters. There's lots of other things they could have brought in, and of course the Master's great as well. So, you can't listen. You can talk to me about the first female Doctor. That's neither here nor there. But just because you've got a female Doctor doesn't mean she can't face the threats that the other Doctors have faced. It's ridiculous. You can't. He's cast a female, and he's gone. I suppose in a way, he's been sexist. In a way, if you think about it, he's gone. You look at the marketing, how feminine it was, how actually really feminine this Doctor is. But a lot of people are saying they could have kind of cast someone which was a bit more tomboyish, if you like, when we talk about females. But that's a discussion for another time. He's tried what I think he's tried to do. He's cast the female Doctor and he's tried to make it a girly series. He's really tried to appeal to young girls as well. You can see that. Personally, I don't think it's worked. I don't think a lot of kids are sitting watching Doctor Who when it's on live every Sunday night. I think us people with brand loyalty are watching it. Some new people, I think lots of people from the LGBT community have come in to watch Doctor Who because they think this is a moment for them, not because they care about the show. They think it's some kind of political moment. Of course it's not, but leave them there. Jodie Whittaker is a straight female. Now, I don't know what sexual preference this Doctor is, and I really couldn't give a damn. But yeah, basically. So this is what's happening now. So this is, look, basically the Daleks, it's not a rumour, the Daleks are going to be in the New Year's Day episode. Now, I don't know if they're going to be front and centre or if they're just going to kind of cameo. I don't care. It seems to me even they may have even gone back afterwards and put them in. This is what's happening. This is proof that season 11 is actually a shit show. And the BBC, I can tell you, are not happy at all. So, because the BBC care about their bottom line, it's not a great era for the BBC. The Conservative government have got them by the balls. And they're not making as much money as they used to. There's people that are giving up their TVs now. There's lots of things. Look, the BBC haven't got it very good these days, so they need to be making the money they've always made from the revival of Doctor Who. And we've spoken about this and spoken about this and spoken about this. Merchandise sales are down, pre-orders for season 11 are down, and it's because this season of Doctor Who is the duck that doesn't hunt. And this is why you're seeing a scarf on the 13th Doctor. This is why you're getting the Daleks. And I'm excited. I love the Daleks. It's, as Russell T Davies said back in the first season of the revival, they're just fabulous. They're just brilliant. For Doctor Who fans anyway, if you're not into Doctor Who, you just see these stupid walking pepper pots. But for us, they're amazing. They are amazing. They're an amazing enemy. You think about the concept of the Daleks, how they have no soul. They have no conscience. And they've just got, they come up with all these plans to just wipe out everything that's not them. It's brilliant. For villains, they're great. But do I trust Chris Chibnall to write the Daleks well? Of course I don't. This is a man who steeps his writing in reality, in the world around him. But then again, I suppose that could be good for the Daleks. It'll be interesting. Can Chris Chibnall and the BBC come together to give us a Doctor Who that we deserve, right? Because so far, they haven't. Season 11 has been a season with great concepts, episodes that start well and peter off by the time we get to the third act. It's been like that. It's been disappointing. It really has in that aspect. So they've got work to do. If they're going to continue to work together, they're going to have to come together and make Doctor Who Doctor Who, if they like it or not. They've, Chibnall's made his political points, if you like. It's now time to start taking Doctor Who back to the TARDIS. Many people, including me, have known we barely see the inside of the TARDIS. It's not a thing. The sci-fi element is barely there. Again, Doctor Who defenders will tell you, well, yeah, we have seen the TARDIS, yeah. What about this sci-fi moment? What about that? If you call that good sci-fi, I'm an Oxford graduate. And believe me, I may have gone to RADA, but I never went to Oxford. So this is massive, people. This is massive. This is, and I can tell you the level of season 12 changes that will happen if you compare it to his first season are going to be Star Trek Discovery season 2 level changes. It's the same situation. They thought they could come in and take Doctor Who away from the Doctor Who fans. And again, these people have taken a massive L. And I've said it before, the consumer always wins when the consumer is strong enough to stand up and say, no, I'm not buying this BS. I'm not doing this. Of course we all come in for the episodes. We love Doctor Who. We want it to be good. And we hope every episode kind of pleases us. But not much has pleased us this year. And I think I congratulate all the people, especially the YouTubers, who have come out and spoken candidly after the ferocity of eruption we've had from non-Doctor Who fans who have come in, who don't care about the show and are just doing it literally because a female Doctor's been cast. And we know that. We know the truth. We know where the bodies are buried, and we've fought hard. And it's funny when you go onto Twitter and you see this hashtag, well, these not my doctor people, they're rude and they're threatening, blah, blah, blah. They make up lies about us. In fact, they're the ones who threaten, who abuse, who make up lies about what's going on with the show just to prove their point. Your ship has sunk. You see, still the alcohol has sunk. Season 11 is now confirmed to be a failure, a creative failure. Don't throw ratings and stuff like that at me. They're putting the Daleks in the New Year's Day special. That tells you everything. And of course, Chibnall's going to come out and say, it was always the plan. No, Chris, it wasn't always the plan. The BBC sat you back down. So whether you guys can still work together, I don't know. It'll be very interesting what happens with season 12. Running Doctor Who is a very, very special position that many of us Doctor Who fans would love and believe could do. Of course, it would be a very challenging job, very challenging, running a TV show, let alone an icon like Doctor Who. It isn't easy. So I sympathise with Chris Chibnall as far as that's concerned. But at the end of the day, Doctor Who is a 55-year icon. And you don't come in get the Hoover out and suck away everything that makes it Doctor Who. I'm a forgiving person, Chris. If you give us a great New Year's Day episode, maybe even your finale will be great, we'll see, then we can move forward as fans. We can start buying the merchandise again and pre-ordering your seasons. But if you keep on being political and taking Doctor Who away from the fans who have kept it successful in the past decade since it's come back, you're going to lose. You will lose every time. And we can have these fake Twitter accounts saying how brilliant the 13th Doctor is, how it's the best version of whoever. But it's not true. It's not a reality. And you having to be sat back down and bring in the Daleks and that scarf tells me everything. That season 11 is a creative failure, that the real Doctor Who fans have won, and this video for me is a celebration. A celebration. I didn't plan on doing a Doctor Who video this morning. I did my preview for the episode. I was going to leave it at that. I had other videos planned, but Doctor Who is very important to me. Make no mistake. From the moment I was introduced to the 5th Doctor, Peter Davison. In fact, while I'm here, I've never really spoken to you about this. Peter Davison was driven away from Twitter because he dared to speak out when the 13th Doctor was cast, saying that young boys need that male to look up to. Is it far from the truth? Was he wrong to say that? Don't young boys need a male to look up to? No, don't get me wrong. As a young man, I looked up to female characters as well as male characters. We had Diana from V, Juliet Parrish from V, we had flipping Alexis from Dynasty, we had Ripley from Alien, right? We had lots of females. We had Jane Wyman as Angela Channing in Falcon Crest. You won't know what I'm talking about. Jill Gascoigne from The Gentle Touch. I looked up to all those women as a young boy. But it's also important to have a balance. And when you're taking male characters and swapping them for female, instead of creating original material and characters for females, you start to do something very aggressive. And it's a big problem. So as soon as Peter Davison said that, now Peter Davison, if you don't know him, is a gentle, wonderful soul. He is. Great actor, and certainly my favourite Doctor all in together. The way he was treated was so wrong. All he did was give his opinion. He wasn't abusive, he wasn't disrespectful, and you lot, some of you lot, drove him off Twitter, and it was absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. And any real Doctor Who fan should never do that to a Doctor Who actor. And you guys do it. You talk about us being toxic, but we don't abuse people. We don't. We speak our opinions. Bolstrek doesn't abuse people. Never. In fact, he's quite respectful. A good guy. All the people are respectful that talk against this season and how badly developed the 13th Doctor has been. But to abuse a lovely man like Peter Davison, part of the classic era, because he stated an opinion, was wrong. So wrong. And at the end of the day, we'll never have that. We have very few actors who have played the Doctor on Twitter. I think we've got Sylvester McCoy. We might have him on there. And we've got Colin Baker. And I think that's it. So it's sad to be driving these people off. And then you guys wonder why people who actually work on the show can't stand us. You know, Peter just gave his opinion and he was driven off Twitter. And I know this is going off subject, but I've never really spoken to you guys about this since I started this channel back in June. And I think it's very important you understand where I stand on these matters. Bullying is unacceptable, especially when the man did nothing wrong but state his opinion. He wasn't rude, he said nothing illegal, he wasn't abusive, he wasn't racist, he wasn't sexist. He just said he feels it's important that boys have that male to look up to. So what? So what? How freaking dare you? A lovely, gentle person like that being abused, and he had to leave Twitter. Despicable. And that's what I think about that. But if we take this thing round again, sorry, I've got a bit carried away there. But I did say yesterday in one of my videos I'd try and be a lot less explosive, wouldn't I? But sometimes my passion for this show and the people who bring it to us mean a lot to me. So when people are disrespected, it does wind me up. But taking this whole thing back again, the Daleks returning to the New Year's Day episode, says it all for me. This should never have happened. Stripping away the classic monsters away from Doctor Who is like, I'm surprised he didn't say, do you know what? She shouldn't have the TARDIS anymore. She should just stay on modern day Earth, just like kind of doing what other people do. Do you imagine that? And I think if it was up to Chibnall, he'd probably do that. Just have her stuck where Yaz and Ryan and Graham lived. Do you know what I mean? And she could just live with them, and she has everyday trials. Do you know what I mean? If it was up to him, he'd do that. I mean, he's made it boring enough as it is. Let alone if it was up to him, he'd take other things that have always been synonymous with Doctor Who. For me, his future isn't with the show. That's clear. I don't know when he'll leave. If season 12 will be his last season. That could be very problematic. But if that's the case, probably that's why he's got the 6 episodes, just so he can go quicker. I think he's a mistake. I'd get rid of him straight away. I respect the man. He's achieved a lot in the industry. And disrespecting him isn't my aim. I want to make that clear. These are hard jobs to do, especially on these icons. But at the end of the day, when we look back at Russell T Davies, the superior job he did, and even when we look back at Stephen Moffat, at least Stephen Moffat tried to entertain, tried to give us something, and he gave his imagination to this show. Whether you agree with what he did or not, he tried. He gave to this show. He tried to keep Doctor Who as Doctor Who, but kind of putting his new spin on it. And that's why I will never totally criticise Stephen Moffat, because he tried. What Chris Chibnall has done, he's tried to take all the wonder and wow and, the stuff that makes Doctor Who, especially in the revival terms, right? Let's just talk about the revival term. Doctor Who has always had this mystique and wonder and excitement. And Russell T Davies gave us that. And what Chibnall's done is, and I'm sorry to say the word SJW, but I have to, what SJWs do, they take the fun out of everything. And that's what if you're honest with yourself, that's what Chris Chibnall has done with Doctor Who Season 11. He's taken all the fun out of it. So you're watching this show and you're thinking, looks good. Isn't very exciting though. Why am I watching this? And every young kid who's tried to watch this with their parents has said the same thing. I know these things. I talk to people. Right. They're not watching this every week because it's boring. How many kids do you know want to sit there? We know kids don't really have concentration levels anyway. So this is no good for them. There's nothing in this to entertain them. They're not watching. This hurts the merchandise sales as well. So yes, the BBC are absolutely very concerned with what Chibnall's done. They forced him to put the Daleks in the New Year's Day episode. And I'm happy that at least we know. Listen, the BBC want the kind of political stuff. They want to do that, and they want a kind of virtual signal to women and all of that. And that will continue. No question about that. Again, a debate for another time. But in terms of Doctor Who being Doctor Who, they want that. And they don't agree with what he's done by taking that element out of it. My name's Mick. I'm Big Mouth. I love Doctor Who. Look out for my review of the Doctor Who finale, either on Sunday straight after the episode or Monday. Have a lovely day. I've got this whopping big house to clean.